All right, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today we are going to be doing a complete tune-up on a Hyundai Accent, or you pronounce it Hyundai. Anyway, lots to do on this car. Customer dropped it off, and basically they're giving it to their a family member, so they wanted it looked over and a complete tune-up done on it. So basically air filter, spark plugs, oil filter oil, and then new ignition coils. Car's been reportedly running okay, but they just want kind of like a complete overview of everything. So I'm actually gonna use 2 cameras for this one, since there's a lot of stuff to go over and kind of something new for me. So first we're gonna do the air filter, which is gonna be the simplest and easiest, and you'll be surprised at how dirty these actually get. And that one is actually not too bad, but overall breathing starts right here, so we're going to make sure that we put a new air filter in, and that goes in pretty easy. Okay, make sure everything lines up. I'll put these little snaps back in. Okay, so they're done, and that's garbage. All right, so another thing while we're on this side of the vehicle, I always look at the master cylinder to make sure that fluid level is good on that. And shine the flashlight in on the side, you can kind of see the level where it's at. So that's good. Now, to get to the part doing the tune-up, which is basically new coils and plugs, and typically an air filter, you want to get this cover off. It's got 4 10 millimeter bolts. Actually, this one has 3. It's missing a bolt, and I already took this off, so we're going to put that off onto the side of the vehicle. And then everything on this car is a 10 millimeter bolt. I mean, you can take most of these cars apart with just a 10 millimeter socket. But anyhow, so these are your ignition coils. You have to take this little wire bar off to get to the rest of them. So we're going to use our 10 millimeter. I'll take these off one by one. Alright, so those are done. So this bar kind of comes out of the way, so you have a lot easier access to get to everything behind here. But basically each coil we're going to replace in each spark plug. So also a 10 millimeter. And this you just basically push in on a clip, and then it should come loose. I say should. Should is the optimum word. And you might have to get a little screwdriver and put it in there. Kind of just push it right here. And clip, actually, it clips in the back. There we go. Okay. That was a lot tighter than it should be, but anyhow, put that in a little magnetic tray, and then the coil basically pops up like that, and that's your coil. Typically what happens is when you pull them out, there's a little spring in there. I don't know if you can kind of see, maybe on that camera angle, there's a little coil spring in there. Usually when you pull them out, it pulls the spark plug right out. And I always do like an inspection, and that one is way down there. So we're gonna have to figure out what size spark plug it is. And that might be a little bit too big. I think it's gonna be the smaller one. All right, 5/8. Put a longer extension on this so we can get down in there. those plugs are way down. Okay. And make things a little bit easier, I'm going to put a little extra extension on it so I don't have to bend over as much. And this one is pretty stiff, so this one's definitely been in there a while. Okay, I think we can do the rest by hand. Alright, so that's your plug. And just some inspections of it, you can see how it's, that little core is kind of fried on there. I'll put it next to another plug so you can see it better to a new one. I'll just lay everything there. So we'll come back over to the little workstation. And if you look, I destroyed the box. Now I like using the Denso plugs because they come pre-gapped. They'll give you an idea of what a worn plug looks like. You can kind of see it on that pretty good. Alright, from that angle. Alright, so that's the old plug. That's garbage. And I like using these. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them all the way down in that hole. Yeah, see now. But the one thing that happens is when you go down into that hole with the plug that deep, with a regular spark plug one, you kind of run into a little bit of a problem. And what I mean by that is, let me just use this. Sometimes the socket gets stuck on top and you can't get them off too well. So with this, I like to switch the end, and then I kind of loosely put it down into the hole, and then I turn it with my hand because it is a long way down there to get to that plug. And then we'll just tighten that baby down. We don't want them tight, but you don't want them like super tight. All right, so that's it. And see what I mean? There's no little rubber seal on that, so there's nothing that really gets stuck down in there. And let's grab a new coil. Now you want to make sure that they match the configuration, and these come kind of pre-lubed, so they should slip on the plug pretty easy. So we'll put that down, and then I should have made a connection to the plug. Okay, now we're going to loosely put this into place, because I'm probably going to need a little bit more room to get to the rest of these little guys. All right, see how that keeps slipping down? We're going to fix that. Then go to the woodworking part of Garage Mahal. I'm just going to grab a little clamp. Love these little things. We are just going to clamp that lightly out of the way, so we got a little more room. I think that should work. Okay. So next one. Put that there. Lay that gingerly there. Like I said, trying to get these clips off are a lot trickier than they're supposed to be. Okay, there we go. Alright, so these coils I'm actually going to throw out. Don't need to reuse that. Then we're going to go with our actual 5/8 plug wrench, so we can go down into the bottomless pit. Let me get us seated. I think we're seated now. A little more torque on that. Since it's loose, let's cheat a little bit. Okay. So that plug is out. And those suckers do not want to let go today. All right. Whew. All right. Let's get another plug. Swap it out with this one again. So we're not dropping it all the way down. Get that started. Okay, so that's good. Get some full swing going. All right. Okay, so that one's good. Very systematic way of doing this. All right, next coil. All right, we'll put that one back in. Put everything loose. Just I want to make sure I have enough room for everything. A little bit too close to the battery. All right. Okay. Get that coil out. And my clamp came loose. That's okay. Highly readjustable. Put back in place. Slide over so we got some clearance. All right. So we know that coil's bad. Or not bad, but should be replaced. Alright, we got the right tip on there. Alright, now that we got that loose, let's switch. That plug is out. And you see what I mean? Like if this was down in that wheel well, you would never be able to get that out. It would just pull out and that socket would be sitting in there. So regular 5/8, and you don't have to worry about getting stuck in there. down. Get the next one. Oops. Alright. Let's go get the other. Put that down. Get that ready. Okay, last one. I love that Milwaukee. All right, pull it up. Oh, those things are tight. Oh. So one thing you want to look for is you got some moisture and you got some oil in there. So I'll take a closer look down there. It doesn't look like it's flooded, so that's good. So some just residual oil. If it was flooded, we would have to investigate a little bit further. Then you have a basically kind of have like a dead cylinder, or that plug's been not working for a while, or there's a compression issue, and you would have the cylinder misfiring up into the chamber, and that could cause a variety of different issues. Okay. Again, let's cheat a little bit on this. God, I love that thing. Okay. And see how that's got a lot of oil and stuff. So this plug's probably not been firing for a while. Pull it out. So it looks pretty bad. So just for that camera issue, see how it's got like some oil and residue around it. So that means that it hasn't been firing completely, potentially misfiring. So good thing we're doing this tune-up. All right, so grab the next coil, the next spark plug. Things fall in the garage hall like that never happens. Okay. And again, we're going to gingerly put this plug down into place. And we are going to use this other 5/8. Now we're done with the spark plug one. We'll put that one back in the drawer. Tie it by hand just so I can get a little bit of grip on that. Okay, good. Make sure that's seated properly. I'll get this one a little bit tighter, but we're good. Okay, so we're done with the 5/8. We're done with these extensions. Put them away. We're done with that for the time being. New coil. We'll put that, slip that down. Nice. Alright, now I'm going to connect all the leads. Make sure they all snap into place. And they're all snapping nice. Nice and smooth. Okay. Tighten everybody down. Oop, steady hands. Okay. Now you don't want to torque it too tight to the point where it ends up cracking those, but All right, and my little Jorgensen easy hold out of the way. All right, now we can put this little bar back into place. That's what I mean, everything's 10 millimeter. You can almost take the whole car apart with it. 10 millimeter socket. Kind of funny. All right. Time saver? Absolutely. Okay. Alright, so that part of the tune-up is basically done. Put the pliers away. Wood clamp, we'll put that back on the wood side. So I like to check the batteries, make sure you don't have any buildup or corrosion on those things. They look pretty clean. In fact, where is some? Give a quick shot at WD-40. Help keep the corrosion off all the leads. Just kind of protect it a little bit more. Okay, so that's nice and covered. That's good. Okay, then back on this side, let's check out the power steering. Fluid level. Strobe light. So that looks full. That's good. Engine coolant. It's looking there. So it's low. It's a little low. Let's see if I got some coolant here. Just add a little bit more. Top it off. Let's see how good I do without a funnel. That looks like that's water, but that's okay. We only add a little bit. Top it off. It's not going to do anything major. Okay, so top that off. All the rest of the fluids look good, and we're going to be changing the oil. Let's put this cover back on. And it's going to sit in here. I'm going to make a little bit of a trick line these little suckers up. Okay, I think that actually worked. I just kind of jostle around. You'll be able to feel when it starts making that connection. All right, and let me see, 10 millimeter. All right, let's get them started. And that does not want to line up. Alright, let's try that. No, not lining up. Alright. So far, the hardest part of the job is getting the damn cover back on. Okay. There we go. There's your little hole. Okay, now we're lined up. This one. Good. Good, and you pop that up. You should go right here. Okay, there we go. No? Alright, now we're good. Okay. So we'll put that away. Put our handy dandy 10 millimeter away and our extension there. So we're basically done underneath the hood until we add the oil in. So I'm going to get this light out of the way. And then next we're going to raise the car up, and I'll try to re-angle the other camera so we can see underneath it. So let's raise her up. just a little bit higher. Okay, so we'll do a quick visual inspection underneath the vehicle. We'll check the inside of the rotors, see if there's any excessive gaps on anything. We'll check the bearings in each four corner, so there's no movement on there. No movement on that one. That one feels good. And that one feels good. Alright. Let's bring this underneath so we can get a good view. And I think I just hit you guys. Sorry about that. And then so we can see the underneath the carriage. And then that is going to be your drain valve for your oil. And then you have your oil filter, which is right here. And let me see if I can get a better angle of everything. Yeah, so there you go. All right, let me get my oil drain. Got the filter over there. That was an old filter. I always put them there so they drain out good. Bring this up to height. Alright, and that should be not a 10 millimeter, but it might be a 14. Let's see if I can't get this on our first try. Oh, no, there's a 14. That might actually be a 16 mil. No, bigger yet. Alright. 17. Can we have 17? Yep, 17. There we go. So what you're doing is, this is your oil pan, that is your transmission pan, and we got a little bit of leakage going on here, so we have to keep an eye on that. I'll just move this out of the way a little bit. And these usually, it should not be under that much torque. Goodness gracious. I know for sure they didn't get the oil done here last time. Okay. Just pull this out a little bit. And I might need it. I have to play the stream here, so. Almost there. There we go. Put that in there. Nice messy oil hands. Thankfully, I keep a rag nearby. So you can see that oil's pretty dirty, so it's probably been a while since oil's been done, or it's been sitting for a while. Now, this is your flex joint for your exhaust. These typically go bad, and what you would do is, I have another video that shows how to repair that, but you're basically cutting right here and then putting a new flex joint in. This one actually looks pretty good. Looks like it's in good shape. So, but this is got some wetness underneath it. So we're gonna have to take a look and see what's going on with that. We're gonna put some stop leak in there, and hopefully that should help extend the life of that. Let me play the arc here. All right, now that we're almost done draining, I can come over here and get the oil filter. That's on there pretty good. So we're going to use the handy dandy oil wrench just to kind of help persuade you off a little bit. Oh boy. Okay. That was on there pretty decent. Same thing. Nice good oil leakage all over the place. Get a little bit better camera angle from there. But again, I like putting those upside down. And I like to let them drip for a while so they get nice and cleaned out. And I just got something that I thought was pretty cool. You don't need this, but I got it. It's an oil filter wrench set because I like to torque wrenches down, or I like to torque the filters down to about 18 pounds, so we're good. This is an Eco Guard. I like, they're the only filters out there seem like they cover everything up, and I just like to make sure that everything matches up good. So you got the seal, and it's good. See, the frame's a little bit smaller, but since we're here, always make sure that you're putting oil around the ring. It makes for a better, tighter seal. We're going to tighten that up, and then we're going to go to here. And since this is a Hyundai, let's see if we're on the list here. No, it doesn't look like we're here, so let's try to guess what size. Oh, that's way too big. Maybe a 911. No, 911's close. 911-1. Maybe it's got the different flutes on it. Okay, so 911.1. So that is showing it's Toyota, yeah, Honda, Nissan. So when I put them on, I like to make sure that I have the right amount of torque on them so they don't come loose. So, and I'll show you how to torque a oil filter out, because we actually had a problem on our Hummer where the oil filter actually in fact came loose on us. Okay. Always make it hand tight. Okay, now we're going to put our torque wrench on it, which I should have set up for, yep, around 18 pounds. So it's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. And I'm going to need an adapter. Three-eighths to ½ inch. So hopefully we got enough room in here. Listening for the click in here. Kind of hard with this little flap in the way. Oh. Alright, there we go. See how it clicks? So we got 18 pounds. That's good pressure. And that sticks a little bit, so give it a little bit of a tap with a wrench, because that's what wrenches are for. Bing! Alright. So we can put that away, but you see what I like to set. You got a perfect fit. Alright. That's good. I think I hit you guys again. Sorry about that. And let's go put this plug back in. Alright, now that we're done. Okay. Alright, so we're torqued out good there. Put our 17 millimeter away to where it goes. I'll filter back in that drawer. So that is it on that. Wipe any excess oil spillage off. So, and that's good and tight. next this off from there. All right, let's move this camera back out. And we are going to lower that car down a little bit lower, and then we're going to change, we're going to do tire rotation. And equalize all the tire pressures. So that's all good. All right. Almost in place. All right, let's bring this down. Everything else looks pretty good under there. All right, everything's clear. And we're going to bring them down to about shoulder height for me. All right, everything clicked. That's good. Now we're going to check tire depth. My handy dandy tire gauge. So, see, that's a 3. So, in Pennsylvania, and actually most states in the Union, that is actually illegal to have on the front. So that's a 3. You need to have a 4 to be safe. And then back here, you get about a 9. So you're allowed 2 on the back, 4 on the front. So it's a good thing we're going to rotate these around. Let's just see what this is. So that one is about a 5. And then that one is probably about a 4. So we're going to rotate these onto the front. Then we'll equalize the pressure on them. So let's see what size this is. No. 22. Maybe we're at 21. Yeah, we're at 21. Let me see. We can use the air wrench on this. And you always got one lug that's got to be stubborn. Wow, that's really stubborn. Okay. You know why? It's got one of those cheap aluminum cover things. Some WD in there. And well, let's take the tire off first. Then we'll do another little trick. Put that on. Tap it off. See what I mean? It's got these cheap little friggin'. Anyway, I try and be decorative, but it's okay. All right, I'll move this tire to the back. And one little spider. That's going to be our new front tire. Alright, so I'll tighten that out after we put this one on, and then we'll switch sides. Let's take this little thing off, make life a little bit easier. Okay. If I don't drop one lug nut a day, it's going to be an unlucky day. Okay. Torque it. Tire, put off to the back. Front tire. Air valve there. good there. Rotors, there's no real lipping on that, so that's good. And tie rod, that's nice and tight. I mean, I gotta put some force to turn it, but what you're looking for any broken boots. Sway bars, which helps your side-to-side lateral move. They look good. And your axle, I don't see any broken boots on that, so that looks good. And I need a new compressor. That thing runs way too much. Okay. So we'll put this back on. Air cut out. That look feels a little weird, so let's see how that spins on. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take that socket off because we're going to use a torque wrench. And I just knocked everybody over. Okay. Next, we're going to go through, put air in all the tires. .1, that's good. Set them all to 39. And you want to look on the side of your tire, see what recommended tire pressure is. So on this one, you can see it right here. So it wants a maximum of 44. I actually do about 38. Most tire sensors need like 35 or higher, so they're all balanced. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. This is a good time to spot if there's any leaks. Okay, so we got that at 39. So if you have a tire that's really low, you'll be able to spot it here. Okay, so we got that one good. Check this pressure. Okay, so we're good there. So all our tire pressure is equalized. Now we're going to check, actually we're going to put the oil in, and then we'll check the oil level, just to double check, and the fluid level of everything. All right. All right. Make sure everything's clear. got that seat all the way down on the ground. I get that screwdriver out of my pocket. And then this is your oil fill. And this requires 4 quarts of oil. So we'll put you back down there so you can kind of see what's going on. My handy dandy oil fill funnel. We're going to get our 4 quarts. My little helper gizmo, which we didn't use. So let that drip out for a second. That's one. And that's why I use a bigger funnel, because you can push that oil out really fast. Two. Actually, it's 3. I'm sorry. This is number 4. Oop, a little splashback. Let that drip, that one drip out completely. Check the oil level so you can see where it is on the stick. Alright, so there's nothing there for our viewers at home. Alright. Alright, so you can kind of see where the level is. So it is definitely full. Now this car had some miles on it, so we're actually going to add some stop leak stuff to it. I don't know if I have any here. Pick up my mess as we go. This stuff is absolutely wonderful. So we saw some leakage in the transmission, so that could be coming from 2 places. One, it could be coming from the engine, believe it or not, leaking through the seal way in there. So we're going to add half here to the engine, and then we're going to add the other half to the transmission. Maybe not quite all of it. And then we're going to put some in the power steering. Oop, a little overspill. Just to help with all those seals in there. But this just basically reconditions everything. So the seals are kind of like new. If you have any little minor leaks, this stuff definitely, without a doubt, seals it up. Alright, so that's good there. Let that drip out over here. Okay, transmission. You have to check the transmission when it's running, but on most dipsticks they actually have a level that you can check when, oh, a little grasshopper. And most of you can check on when it's not running. So we'll check, see it's got a hot and a cold. So if you can see, it's got a hot and a cold listing on there. Put it down. And twist it back up, so it's actually, it's good it's all the way full. So that's a good thing. All right, this one's a little weird. We'll twist that back in its place. And the oil looked pretty clear. So that's everything in this compartment. So we are actually done here. Take Mr. Leaf out. All right, and last but not least, we're going to torque the wheels. Because the last thing we want is the wheels coming off. God forbid. All right. This is my tire one. I always have this set to the proper torque for most vehicles. This is where I can kick these out of the way. Okay. And on this side. All right, and that's it. So we are out of the way there. And that is everything. And if you guys were looking for my rig, I know a couple guys online were like, hey, what do you use to film? It is a Hero Session 5 or 6, I forget which version it is. I have a little light on top and it's mounted on a hat. And I'm actually making a better version where this will sit a little bit lower. So when I'm underneath and hitting stuff, I'm not hitting stuff, you know, I'm not banging you guys. But anyway, hopefully everybody likes that. It's gonna be new. I'm gonna go back and forth with the video capture to see what looks better. But other than that, Brian from Garage Mahal, have a great day. Be safe. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing. Have a great day. Bye.